I am a professor in the Department of Pharmacology at the Medical College of Wisconsin and also director of the Neuroscience Research Center at the Medical College of Wisconsin. My job is a neuropharmacologist, and what I do is study how drugs interact with the brain. And I do this as what's called a principal investigator. So I'm the one who sits in my office and reads papers and writes grants and really thinks about the project at a high level. So my research centers around a group of drugs called the cannabinoids. And the cannabinoids are the drugs that we first found by studying why marijuana had its effects on the brain. My basic job within the scientific enterprise would be described as something called a basic scientist. I would say every important discovery, certainly every drug that we have to treat things like infections or depression or PTSD or cancer, they all started in the basic science laboratory and gradually moved up into being tested in human beings once we understood that they were going to be effective and going to be safe based on these early studies. I think the type of student that would be very interested in and would be successful as a scientist, I think the number one thing is curiosity. If you're the kind of person that just looks at the world and is full of questions about how does this work, or you're always thinking about would there be a better way for me to design a device that would do this particular task more quickly or more easily, that you should really follow that curiosity into the direction of science and engineering, because I think that they're very closely aligned in terms of the kinds of things that you're interested in. I also think there's a need for people that do all kinds of things well. So we need people who can write and can write about science and are interested in communicating with the public and being that interface between what discoveries are going on in laboratories and interpreting them in a way that lay people can understand the science stories. So if you're a good storyteller, there's room for you in a science career. Certainly if you're good with numbers, there are plenty of aspects of science that require, a facility with equations and numbers and things like that. But in biology, it's just, mostly I think it's a fascination for how the body works, how animals behave, if that's what you're interested in, how we make decisions, how we interact with other people. All of those are active research studies, particularly in neuroscience right now. I really highly encourage students who are interested in a science career to find a laboratory in the area where you might be able to at least go in and observe people doing experiments, but chances are they'll actually let you get your hands in there and participate in doing some experiments. So the sorts of courses, if you're interested in a science career, you definitely should take advantage of every science course you can take in high school, honestly. Even if you think you want to be a biologist, actually the foundation for biology is chemistry, and the foundation for chemistry is physics, and the foundation for physics is mathematics. So you really need to be grounded in all of those disciplines to really hit the ground running, as they say, in college. Definitely, I would take a variety of things. In our American education system, you don't really specialize until you're at the PhD level. So all the way along, I would just try and absorb as much information about the scientific and engineering disciplines as you possibly can. I want to finish by saying that I am so glad I chose to be a neuroscientist. It is a fascinating career. It's hard. It can be frustrating. It takes a lot of time and a lot of reading and a lot of thinking to be successful as a scientist, but it's extremely rewarding. And I would never have chosen, now that I know what I know about the career, I'm very, very glad that I chose to be a neuroscientist.